Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we are talking about the YSL Touche Eclat Le Teint foundation. I have a few samples here. I've been doing wear tests, so today we're finally going to talk about this foundation. But before we go any further in today's video, please take a second to grab your iced coffee or your hot coffee. Let's have a sip and let's get started. I recently purchased an espresso machine and there's a little apparatus to make foam. So I'm not sure if I made a cappuccino this morning. I had one espresso shot and lots of foam. It's actually quite nice because as you can see, it's very foamy here. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about the foundation. So this is the YSL Touche Eclat Le Teint foundation. I don't think this is very new. I think it came out a few years ago. And from what I'm reading on the blogs, I think it has been reformulated. A lot of the comments that I'm reading are saying that they have a new formula, something to that effect. This is my first time trying this foundation. I have no basis. I don't have any past knowledge of old formulas. I'm just testing this one out here. So this is described as a Radiance Awakening foundation. It retails at 74 Canadian plus tax. So it is definitely in the luxury high end, but I think when I think of YSL or Yves Saint Laurent, whatever you want to call it, I definitely think high end, luxury, like pretty bougie. Let me go ahead and read off some of the description off of the website. It is described as a best-selling foundation now in an advanced formula that reduces the look of fatigue and creates a flawless coverage. So I think this is the new formula. And it is described as ideal for normal to dry skin types. Now, I love that they limited the ideal skin types to normal and dry. So many times when a foundation comes out, it is marketed as something for dry skin, oily skin, normal skin, acne, rosacea. It doesn't make any sense because I don't really believe that any one foundation will be perfect for everyone. Certain skin types do better with certain formulas. You can't say that a foundation is going to be perfect for oily acne skin and also dry mature skin. You have to pick one. So I appreciate that they were, sane and saying, ideal for normal to dry. They're not claiming that it's going to be perfect for every single skin type. That's just a pet peeve of mine because it feels like false advertising. It just feels like they're trying to just throw the foundation out there and see whoever it lands on in a way. Whenever companies say that their foundation will work on every single skin type, it seems like false advertising because it can't be true. There have to be certain foundations that work better for certain skin types, and it seems dishonest. I'm just tell us who this is going to work best for. Don't just tell us it's going to work for everyone because it's not going to be true. Okay, now that rant is over, let me read a bit more of the description. Touche Eclat Le Teint Radiance Awakening Foundation is enriched with a stimulating ruscus extract, I have no idea what that is, an anti-fatigue formula that energizes the skin by stimulating microcirculation and targeting dullness to instantly improve your skin's appearance. Those are pretty big claims. It's supposed to help the appearance of brightness, luminosity, all that jazz. So let's go ahead and just apply it here on camera with you guys. So I received a few samples here of the foundation. Both are in the shade called B30 Almond. I think this is the right shade for me. I did the shade finder online and it did say that I should try a foundation 2 or 3 shades darker. Apparently I'm supposed to be in B50, but I've been wearing B30 and it's been okay. So let's go ahead and apply it. So first off, the foundation is very fluid. It feels very runny. Actually, maybe it is a bit light, but once it's blended out, it doesn't look too light. It's just when you do these little swatches that it looks very light. And I'm going in with a damp makeup sponge because this is just my preferred way of applying foundation. So as you can see, it really just melts into the skin quite easily. It blends. There's not really any issue except for when there's baby hairs in your foundation. I'm not sure if this amount of product translates to 1 or 2 pumps, but as you can see, It is very light. It's very runny. So the texture of this, as I mentioned, is very, very runny. It's very fluid. I think, I'm assuming that the sample and the regular product would be the same texture. I can't imagine why it would be different, but I'm just saying if you're going to pump it on the back of your hand, be wary because it probably will run all over. But that being said, it is very light. It blends into the skin very easily. It barely takes any work, and it does feel very, very light and natural. It does not feel heavy or cakey. It really kind of feels like your skin, but better. So immediately when it goes on your skin, it does have a little bit of radiance, but not as much. I don't know. I think for me, the gold standard of a radiant foundation is the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk, because that one is just like crushed diamonds in a foundation. It's so radiant. This one is, but it's almost like a semi-radiant. I think it could be more radiant. I'm not gonna lie. I think it could have more luminosity. But one thing I've noticed is that I did a wear test, and I'll include a clip around here, and I wore it for 8 hours and it held up very well, especially because it's very hot in Montreal. It's very humid and muggy, as it always is in the summer. And it held up very well. I think a little bit disappeared around my nose because I blew my nose a lot that day, but as far as the rest of the face, it didn't, fade away. It held up. And the biggest test for me is I smile a lot during the day, and sometimes foundation settles into my smile lines and just like cakes there, and it looks so gross. This foundation did none of that, zero. Like there was no settling in any fine lines at all, which is pretty impressive. So I guess saying that it is for normal to dry skin types is good and accurate because there was no settling in any fine lines. It didn't fade away. It was pretty good throughout the whole day. Let me just finish up the rest of my makeup so I can see the complete look. I'm gonna go ahead and add a bit of concealer. This is the Clé de Peau concealer in Almond. A little bit of blush. This is the Chantecaille Aqua blush in Marigold. Okay, so now you can see the complete look with a bit of concealer and blush. It kind of looks more complete. So I think this foundation is more radiant than luminous. I don't know if those words are synonymous. I just mean that when I think of luminous, I think almost glowing, like the way that a lot of primers have that kind of pearlescent finish. I don't think that this foundation does that. However, it is still a very beautiful foundation. The finish is very nice. It dries down very quickly. It doesn't really transfer. I mean, if you rub your face, obviously the foundation will transfer, but it does hold up very well. I don't know. There are a lot of claims here about, the stimulating, anti-fatigue, energizing, whatever. It's a foundation. It is very beautiful. It does not sit or settle in any fine lines, which is really great. I don't know why so many foundations do that. I don't know if they're the ones that are more matte do that more, but this one doesn't do that. So maybe that's why it's like an anti-fatigue foundation in a way, because you will never look tired or like cakey, or it's not going to settle into your lines, and so maybe that's where the connection is with the anti-fatigue energizing foundation. Overall, I do like it, although it is on the pricey side. It's 74 Canadian plus tax, although I think there are still a few days left in the Sephora VIB sale, so if you want to get it, that would be the time. I like this foundation. I don't think that I love it. I don't know. I think if it were more luminous, if it just like radiated more shine, I would appreciate it more. But it is really good throughout the day. I feel like this stays put during the day. Like even after 8 hours, I feel like it looks the exact same. It doesn't shift, it doesn't evaporate, it doesn't settle anywhere. So I feel like it's a really good foundation if you have long days, long shifts, like whatever you do for work. I love that like all of my subscribers have such varied vocations. Some of you are teachers, some of you are stay-at-home moms, some of you work in corrections, so some of you are nurses. So if you have the type of job or career where you have to have like a face of makeup and you can't really touch up, I think this would be for you because it really doesn't budge and it doesn't, again, settle anywhere and make you look more tired. Because if you have smile lines up here or here, and if the foundation settles, it makes you look worse than if you didn't wear foundation, let's be honest. So it is good for that. So yeah, I think that about does it for the review. I think it's a good foundation. I don't think it's like my new be all end all foundation. I do like the samples. I will keep using them, but I don't know if I'm like motivated to go purchase it, even with a discount. Honestly, at this time, the Chanel Le Beige Water Fresh Tint is like my new holy grail foundation. It's just so beautiful and stunning. This one, I don't even remember how much it costs, but I don't even care. I'm gonna go buy it as soon as it runs out. So I think my standard has just been raised. Again, this is a good foundation. I think YSL is a good brand. They make good products. This foundation is just not like earth shattering, you know? So yeah, that about does it for today's video. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. Have you tried this foundation? Have you tried the old formula? There seems to be a lot of talk and buzz about the old formula versus the new formula. Maybe the old one was more radiant and luminous and dewy. I don't know. Let me know down in the comments. Also, let me know what is your favorite holy grail foundation. You know, the one that you just cannot change. Like no matter what comes out that's new, you cannot like forget your foundation. You have to always buy that one again because it's so stunning. Let me know down in the comments what is your holy grail foundation. Okay, so I think this is all I have for you guys for today. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. I hope you guys have a beautiful day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.